Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, let's talk about a way that we can tell an avoidant is attached to you by the way they ask you questions. Not just the way they ask you questions, but actually, in particular, what they are asking you. And we're going to talk about where this comes from because I think a lot of people can get confused. Of course, we've discussed similar things on this channel before. Some of you guys are new, but also some of these things are just something I've never brought to you. So let's go ahead and talk about it together. At the end, we will go ahead and summarize it. The very first one is, I think, one of the most important ones. It's particular though, and that's why I put it in the front, but I'm going to explain it because it's going to be a little confusing, I feel, to some of you. Is that not enough for you? Okay. And the different forms of it could be, is what I'm doing not enough? Do you not like it? Something of that sort, okay? Is that not enough for you? A particular aspect. Maybe you said, do you ever want to get married? And they said, I'm not sure. And then you were not happy with that. And then they said, is that not enough for you? Is their answer not enough for you? So basically, in translation, am I not enough for you? That's how they perceive it. You didn't say that. They perceive it like that. So usually this is in the form of a frustration. It might even be during a disagreement. So why does this show that they are attached to you? Why does it show that they love you, even though it's clearly like a more negative concept? Caring about how you feel is something avoidants don't do unless they care about you. Now, that is not always the case with fearful avoidance, okay? But in general, both avoidants, they care about how you perceive them more than probably anybody else in the world if they're attached to you, if they're romantically attached to you. Now, fearful avoidance, if they lean anxious, they may sometimes take this more personal and they may feel this way about anybody. Not the question itself, but they're more, they do worry how people perceive them because they have a lot of trauma and they lean more anxious. Fearful avoidance that lean more dismissive, they have a lot of trauma as well, of course. Anybody who has insecure attachment, but particularly fearful avoidance have quite a bit more trauma, right? Adverse childhood experiences, they scale the highest. We've talked about this before. But fearful avoidance that lean dismissive, often what they do is they combat their anxiety by shutting people out. So they still have the anxiety underneath, but they don't show it very often at all. And so what ends up happening is it's going to come out like this. Dismissive avoidance, they don't care about other people. I'm just going to be honest, unless they really like you or care about you. So that's just the way they operate anyway. So is that not enough for you? Because you matter to them, okay? And this can spiral into a very negative perspective, which is why I wanted to stop on it and why I wanted to put it first, because it's important to clarify. Usually when they say this, it is a form of saying, I feel a little bit of pressure. It doesn't mean they don't like you, but that's why a lot of people have this misconception. And I'm going to probably make another video on this topic in detail. A lot of people have a misconception. If avoidants like you, they're going to leave you. True, but also not true. What happens is most avoidants are very sensitive to pressure. I mean, most people know that, right? Most people understand attachment. Pressure only happens for them if you're somebody who they even care about, right? The person on the, random person on the street is not going to give them pressure. They don't care about that. So yes, the person that they love is going to be the one who's more capable of giving them pressure, but that doesn't mean every avoidant is bound to leave you. So why is this coming up in this particular moment? When they say, is that not enough for you? This is a sign they love you, they're attached to you, but they're also feeling some form of pressure. Is that not enough for you? Am I enough for you? And all you have to say is, yes, that is enough for me. I'm sorry if it came across that way. Just because I'm not 100% happy with your answer doesn't mean it's not enough. I'm very grateful and I'm appreciative that you're giving this a second thought. I'm very appreciative that you let me in. I'm so happy that you're making an effort. I see so much difference in you. You're so open to me. I perceive you as much more romantic than when we first met. I see the change. If you say things like that, it's going to soften them and make them feel, okay, I am enough. Let me continue forward with this relationship. Little bit of a tangent, but hopefully that helps somebody. The next one is, did you enjoy yourself? Did you like that? Sometimes this is going to be in the context of intimacy, okay? Particularly for male avoidance if it's intimacy context. But in general, both male and female avoidance, did you like that? Did you enjoy yourself? How did you feel about that? It could even be, did you like what I made for you? Did you like what I cooked for you? Did you like what I bought for you? How did you feel about that? They're trying to see if they can make you happy. But it's not just they want to make you happy. Of course, that's what it is. But there's another part to this that's more particular for avoidance, both fearful and dismissive, okay? They want to see, are they capable? Are they capable of making you happy? Because if they are, that means they can challenge some of their fears. Some of their fears is that they'll never be good enough for a relationship. They'll never be good enough for anybody. That's where a lot of this is coming from. And I am probably going to make a separate video on that. But in general, if you're able to say, yes, I enjoyed myself, or yeah, that made me happy, now they can see, okay, I was wrong. I'm okay with relationships. I can commit to this. I can fall in love because I'm not going to disappoint this person. And so in general, any avoidant, if they're feeling attached to you, what can always help is that you make me happy. If you just say you make me happy, I appreciate you, I think that you're a great partner, whatever it may be, that really helps them. It really helps them to feel confident that they can do it. And so some of that is coming from these questions are coming from there, okay? The next one is, did you make it home okay? A lot of avoidants actually, they're very comfortable with the tangible approach to relationships. Did you make it home okay? Can I drive you to the doctors? Do you want me to make you chicken soup? Things like that. That's where they're more comfortable with. And so often they will check, did you make it home okay? Very simple. Typically, it's common. Some avoidants don't do this, but a lot of them do. This is something that most of them are pretty comfortable with. It's not something that takes a while to show up. Some of them even do this straight away in the dating stage, okay? The next one is, are you okay about it because I am, okay? This is another the specific one that might show up more in disagreements. Let's say you guys had an argument. You guys probably said some things that maybe you regret, and that's okay. It happens. And you guys both decided, okay, let's move on. You thought about something, whatever it is. And then maybe the next day they check on you. Are you okay about it? Because I am. How are you feeling about this? I feel like I'm okay with moving on. How do you feel? Why is this a sign that they're attached to? A lot of avoidance, they operate very, I want to say tunnel vision. Another way could be perceived as selfish, honestly. And I feel like that's okay for me to say because I used to be avoidant and I feel like I was pretty selfish. And so I'm not trying to judge anybody. That could be bias on my part. But basically the way it is avoidants kind of think about themselves and how they feel. So if they're over the argument, they kind of just think everybody is and everybody's on the same page, or they're not even thinking about it. They're just in their own world. And so for them saying, are you okay about it because I am? They've removed some of those walls and those blinders, right? They're seeing themselves, but they're also seeing you. It's also a sign that they're healing, by the way. They're basically more aware of your happiness and what makes you happy and what they can do to make you happy. Because usually what happens is this is a segue, an opportunity for you to open up and say, no, I'm not. I want a conversation. A lot of times avoidance, even if they don't have those blinders and maybe they are aware of how you're feeling, because some of them are like this, they still don't want to say this because they're afraid it's going to cause another fight. And so this is a huge one for them. It's like a very vulnerable thing. I know it sounds very silly, but it genuinely is. Are you okay about it because I am? Because they don't have to say that. They could just let you stew in your negativity or your upsetness, whatever it is, rightfully so, and they could just kind of like ignore it. But the fact that they're saying, are you okay about it? They're saying, if you're not, tell me, because I'm okay with talking about it. It's a very good sign. And the very last one is, are you upset? Are you mad at me? Did I upset you? This one is not true for fearful avoidance. Fearful avoidance can do this to their boss, right? Fearful avoidance, they're kind of more concerned about how people feel. Dismissive avoidance, if they're saying, are you upset? Are you mad at me? This is a big sign that they're actually attached to you because they're trying to say, if you're upset, let me make it right, okay? So let's go ahead and summarize it. The first one is that not enough for you? The second one is, did you enjoy yourself / did you like that? The third one is, did you make it home okay? The fourth one is, are you okay about it because I am? And the fifth one is, did I upset you? Are you upset? I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.